Hello and welcome to Dee Blooms. This is my second Care Collab video. I'm so excited to be a part of this orchid growing community and being able to participate in the Care Collabs. Happy to share what I'm learning, hope to learn more, and I think this is just a great way to do that. So today's video is about the Dendrobium Kingianum, and I have an extremely small seedling, and I received this last July as a made a mistake shipment apology from a vendor on Etsy. And this seedling was actually half the size that you see it here. So it's really small now. It was like, I swear, like where my finger is, that tiny. So it has done really well. It's put out some good roots that I've seen. So I think it's really just starting to settle in and hopefully will grow some new growths and start becoming more of a full plant and reach blooming size. I'm gonna guess maybe within a couple years. So since this is a new plant for me, I'm going to recite some of the things I've learned reading about it. This orchid is also known as the pink rock orchid. It's usually a lithophyte, but occasionally can be an epiphytic or rarely a terrestrial orchid. It tends to bloom in late winter to mid-spring, and the flowers last about a couple weeks. It's native to eastern Australia and can grow up to 20 inches tall. And of course, like most orchids, it likes to grow in an open medium with plenty of light, fresh air, and good humidity. And then in winter, you want to reduce the water and allow a 4-week period of daytime temperatures around 46 degrees to encourage flowering. Now this plant is too young for me to do that. I've kept it inside this winter so far. I think once I get maybe seeing a new growth starting or a couple new growths, I'll feel more confident to keep it out on my patio. I live in Southern California, so I really don't get freezing winter temperatures. The patio I have is also covered, so if it does get down there in temperatures, there's a lot of protection. But there's been occasion, even just this last winter, that for several weeks I brought in my plants. It just got way too close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit for my comfort level. So just to make sure and protect everything, I brought in all my orchids for that time period. So this orchid I am currently growing in my eastern window with all the rest of my dendrobiums. If you saw my other video introducing my eastern, southeastern, and southern exposure windows, part of my collection, because I also have a northern window that I did a separate video on, and I still have to do my video on my patio where I have other orchids as well, or outside orchids. So this is getting really good eastern light. It's diffused by a sheer curtain, so it doesn't get direct light, and it also has some not really intense grow lights, but nevertheless some small strips of grow lights just to supplement and push to make sure everybody's getting good exposure to light. And I water this one weekly. It's in a very small pot, so it will dry out faster than larger pots. In the summertime, I was watering 2 to 3 times a week. It just depended on how the temperature got in my house throughout the summertime. But of course, as fall progressed and the temperature started dropping, I cut back on the watering and down to just once a week. And this little seedling I fertilize just maybe once a month right now to every other week. I tend to fertilize most of my orchids, especially my Phalaenopsis, what they call weekly. But on some of my other more specialty orchids, or what I consider to be specialty, I typically do every other week. It just depends on the type of orchid. I'm more worried about over fertilizing than under fertilizing. So I tend to ratchet back when I'm a little unsure. And for seedlings, I certainly do not want to risk any new root growth by over fertilizing. So I take it a little easier. If anyone has any comments or suggestions on fertilization to boost growth, and or any suggestions that if you've grown one of these from seedling or even just as a mature plant, the best care that you've seen, I would love comments. If you have any other comments or questions for me, I will do my best to answer them. Again, I'm a newer grower to this plant and just looking forward, hopefully in the next couple years, for it to bloom for me. And sorry, there's not much to see. It's a beautiful little baby plant and I love it dearly, and I hope to have some updates about it in the future. Okay, well, have a great day, and I hope everyone stays healthy and safe. Thanks.